It's crazy out there on them theme park streets, I tell you. Disney is being sued again from somebody else that visited the park, this time by a New York mom. A New York mom is suing Disney for $2 million after injury at Typhoon Lagoon. So according to the New York Post, a New York mom is suing Disney for $2 million after she was injured at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon in April of 2022. So it took them a while, I guess, to get the lawsuit going. There's a picture of her and her children. But Kimberly was violently struck by a sudden forceful wave while at Typhoon Lagoon surf pool during an April 2022 visit. I don't know what happened, but I have to say this. If you go into a wave pool, there's a good chance you're going to get hit by a giant wave. That's all I'm saying. Not trying to defend anything, but sounds kind of interesting to me that if you go into a giant wave pool and you get hit by a wave.
This unathletic loser goes into a wave pool and is shocked by getting hit by waves.
Yeah.
I usually root for Disney to lose a lot of these lawsuits just because I think it's funny or whatever. I hope Disney sues her. I hope they take her for everything she's worth. A wave. My gosh, a wave came at us. We were at the wave pool. Can you believe it?
Well, it gets worse, apparently. She claims that the mammoth, let's call it mammoth, that's what she wants to call it, wave, drug herself and her 3-year-old daughter underwater for several feet, according to the court documents. The wave hit her from the side with such force, it plummeted her body and skidded across the cement and granite, causing serious road rash and scrapes that were severe and deep. She and her husband, Frank, I don't know how to say that, Panetta, her husband, Frank, a lawyer, let's just throw that out there, said their young daughter could have been seriously injured if not for her quick thinking to push her above water. Her husband, a lawyer, she saved her daughter's life. There's her scrapes and deep cuts from the wave pool after being hit by a mammoth wave. Panetta details her experience, stating that her trip was ruined and that she was stuck limping around, applying bandages, salves, and creams, and was forced to avoid swimming and enjoying planned visits to the park due to cuts and scrapes on her leg. Cuts and scrapes. There you go. Frank says Disney offered nothing but a measly $250 credit after the incident. This is not the first time a lawsuit was filed for Typhoon Lagoon injury. In May of 2024, Laura went tubing on the Humunga Cowabunga ride, but at some point went unconscious after being inside the ride. Oh, after banging inside the ride. Sorry. We don't know about this lawsuit. The lawsuit claimed that Walt Disney World failed to warn any of the dangerous conditions about which it knew it should know about the Humunga Cowabunga water slide at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon.
So also, can you scroll up a little bit because you skipped over a sentence that's kind of important. He went tubing, right? He took a tube on this ride. That's a 214-foot long body slide that does not use tubes. So look, if they do show that, look, there wasn't enough precautions in terms of posting that, hey, no tubes allowed on this ride. Hey, no tubes allowed on that. There are some things where you could justify that type of a thing, right? In the same way that if the wave pool was advertised as, hey, it's for little babies, it's for little babies and for little kids, bring your 2-year-old in, and then they're throwing monster waves at you. Sure, then you can justify that, yeah, they're liable because you weren't anticipating what you got when you went into the wave pool.
The lawsuit came on the heels of one filed by Emma and Edward McGinnis against Walt Disney World Parks and Resorts over a 2019 incident, which Emma suffered a painful wedgie on the same slide. So there you have it. This Typhoon Lagoon and Disney being sued again. this time for $2 million by this lady and her husband, who is the lawyer, for a giant wave in the wave pool that knocked her over and cut her foot up.
I'm not going to lie. It kind of makes me want to go to Disney just so I can have something. Because, look, something awful will happen to me at some point. And if everybody else is getting on in the action, why can't I? You know?
Let's go to Typhoon Lagoon and see if we can get $2 million from a massive wedgie or something that happens at the wave pool. What the freak? I got hit by a wave.
I dropped my ice cream and it ruined my day. You know,
give me $2 million or $250 credit. Anyway, it's rough out there for Disney. Everyone wants a piece of the pie. So there's your theme park news.